Ruban Nielson. Welcome to Eric's Psychedelic Breakfast.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. How are you? Where are you currently at, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Portland, Oregon at the moment.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, I've just been here for the summer. Yeah.
Nice, nice. One thing we like to do in the show is ask what we have had for breakfast. It's like, one of the, I feel like it's a good way to see into people's routine and stuff.
Okay. Um, so you want to know what I have for breakfast? Okay,
Yeah.
there's not much insight into my routine because I don't really have a good routine, um, but today I had a really good breakfast. I had there were a bunch of berries that I had, and then my
Mm.
kids didn't eat them, so I had a bunch left over. So I made so I boiled it all down into a compote, I guess, a couple of days ago, and then made like a crisp out of it, like berry crisp.
Oh, wow.
So I had some of that, and then a bunch of like things on toast. Like my wife made like a plum jelly, and I had some of that, and then some honey, and then a tomato. So I don't know. That was a really good breakfast. It was like really healthy and like tasty. But sometimes some days I have like no breakfast, and some days I have cereal or like I
Yeah.
don't know. I have sometimes I have chocolate for breakfast. I don't know if I'm like running out the door, coffee or whatever. But
Oh.
yeah, I had a good breakfast today, so it's a good day to be to be asked it because it was a. I was thinking like literally halfway through my breakfast, like this is a wholesome ass breakfast. So it's like really good. This is a good one.
Wow. Yeah, it's like and you have kids, so I'm sure you be eating like all kinds of cool little treats sometimes for that the kids don't eat and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, my son is like really likes junk food. But my daughter actually like makes a lot of stuff. Like she makes a lot of pretzels, and she made last night. She made my daughter made this like I barbecued some stuff, and then I barbecued some garlic. Like I just chopped like a what do you call a garlic? Like a bulb of garlic in half, and then put it on a
Right.
barbecue. And I just didn't know what was going to happen with it, but she like put it into some kind of bread thing, and then made some like garlic bread sort of thing, and that was like
Nice.
amazing. So I don't know. It's like it's been good because the summer is like I can like barbecue and stuff like that. So it's been
Right.
pretty good for that. Been a
Right.
pretty good summer, I guess.
And I'm sure it's beautiful over there as well in Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon summers are good when they're not too hot. Like they've been getting like crazy hot. Because I spent some time in Palm Springs, which is the desert, and that gets really hot. But one summer I was down there and it was hotter here. Like it was like 115 degrees here or something. When they had the fires and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it can get too hot here, but it hasn't been that hot since then. So this summer has been really nice.
Do you make music in Oregon? Like, is that where you is that where
Yeah,
you do
I
studio?
do. Yeah, I've made a lot of the records in the basement here in this house, and
Nice.
so I made the first record kind of all over the place, the self-titled one.
Right.
Some place it was like kind of actually like sleeping on people's couches and kind of drifting around, and so I kind of ended up making it in different places. And then the second record, I made a lot of it here. Um, yeah. So I even made some of the first record in a yurt, and I think some of the second record I made in the yurt as well. Me and my wife, she's still in a yurt. Do you know what a yurt is?
The which one? The second one?
No, do you know what a yurt is? You know, a yurt, a
Oh,
yurt.
no.
Like I don't know how to. I'm trying to be. I'm trying to make it so you can understand my accent. It's just like a tent. It's a kind of like a Mongolian like tent thing that we used to live in one.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I made some of the second record in that,
Oh, nice.
and and then some of it here in the basement when we first moved in here. Yeah.
Nice. And do you have like a dream kind of like studio or kind of like idea that you would, like some kind of dream studio, you know what I'm saying? Like something that you
Yeah,
would
like
love to
ultimates.
have. Yeah.
ultimate recording situation. Well, I never really think about like the place or like anything because sometimes like being in like a really beautiful or cool place is like not very inspiring to me. Like
Really?
I always think yeah, because I always think about how the Beatles made a lot of those well it made all those like amazing records and this kind of like um in the B studio at Abbey Road and like picture when you see pictures of it, it's pretty industrial. Like it doesn't it's not like a funky cool studio. It's like no it's not much vibe in there. I think
Right.
I've always found that really applies to me as well. Like it's like if you're in a place that's kind of more basic, then you have to bring the vibes, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? You know, like it's like you don't have this feeling of like,
Right,
oh yeah,
right.
it's really cool in here. If it's somewhere that's like a little bit raw or like or even like unpleasant, it's
Hmm.
like then you have to create you have to create everything yourself. You have to make the environment or the situation cool by the through
Hmm.
the music you're making. I don't think that applies to everybody. I just think it's kind of true for me that when I'm in a really like if I'm in a dream studio, I just feel nothing because I'm like, well, we already got the studio. What are we making the music for? We don't need to like worry about anything anymore. But if it's kind of like if the studio's kind of raw, it's just kind of like, man, it's kind of uncomfortable in here. Let's make something.
Hmm.
Let's get the vibes going and bring some spirit into this place. But yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, but I actually just this morning had a meeting. This is like a building that's available, kind of walking distance from my house, and I was with a friend of mine that is actually a tech. He's like a um, really amazing tech, and it's like worked on a couple of keyboards and stuff for the
Hmm.
band. And he's like was thinking about maybe getting a space with him and maybe with some friends and like starting a studio. Uh, the only thing I think about with dream studios is one of my dreams at the moment is to build a studio, like build all the equipment um, from scratch. You know,
Like
like
the instruments?
no, like the console and the
Oh, I
compressors
see.
and the preamps and
Uh,
everything, like
build it
the
into the
monitors. We'll just build it from scratch, like everything, like
gotcha.
just like from the soldering to the circuit boards to the fabrication of the just everything, just like
Hmm.
weld the fucking legs on the console, like everything, like build, literally build the studio. Like that's one thing one day that I would like to do. I don't know if I'll
Right.
ever get that good at electronics, but that would be cool because then you can decide every single little thing. You know,
Hmm.
like you can decide what every knob's going to be, what every color of everything.
Right. Right. Because
Just like everything.
yeah, one thing that I love is, just like being able to whenever you get those random inspirations of art or improvisations, because they can be like completely random, like spurts of energy that you get, and just being able to just sit down and know like exactly how to turn everything on almost like instantaneously and just get
Yeah.
ready. So you can just transmit that energy without any limits, without having to be like, okay, let me plug this in and
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's hard to get to that stage. I'm too
Tony
I
Stark
found the
level.
yeah, no, I mean it's like if you yeah, if you can make it all, then you can fix it all too. So
Hmm.
so that would be cool to be able to kind of figure everything out and make sure that everything's sounding exactly the way you want it to sound. And if something didn't sound if there was something that you wanted, then you just like open it up, change it, or like
Hmm.
modify it in some way. Um, not really in a you said Tony Stark, and I was thinking, well, not in a like a billionaire like Elon Musk kind of way. I mean, just in a DIY. Like the studio
Hmm.
might even look kind of janky.
Hmm.
And knowing me, it might probably will, but like but it would have that kind of beauty of like handmade things. I just kind of I would
Right.
like to do that. That sounds cool, and I don't really care where it is, or you know what I mean. Like,
Hmm.
and yeah, I've always felt like I don't want to have a studio that has a view. You know, like I feel like a lot of people like they want to make music and then they want to see like the lake or like the forest or like whatever mountains or whatever. It's like I would find that like uninspiring because
Wow,
I
that's
think
like
I want to be in a box. You know, I want to be
wow.
at work. Like, yeah.
Mm. Right. Yeah, almost as if it can be a little bit of a challenge maybe and also influence like have so many ideas also that can change so rapid maybe with a nice
Yeah,
view.
you have to kind of like make the view, you know, like from the
Yeah.
interior, like you have to create yeah, because if you can see
Mm.
some expansive thing, it's like I think the yeah, just for me personally, I just like think that that would be uninspiring. It would just be like looking out the view and going like, wow, nice. You know, if I'm in a box, I'm kind of forced to go inwards a little more.
Right, because people who are listening to the record don't have that view when they're listening to it.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Like, what if the record kind of doesn't come out as good because it was because you had to be there, you know, like because it was the studio and the vibe and the lava lamps and everything that
Right.
made it cool. I don't like that idea. I
Yeah.
like the idea that's like if it sounds good in here, it's gonna
Mm.
sound really good in your car or whatever. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's such a good point. Dude, I wanted to ask you, you have collabed with some of my favorite artists, so many cool artists. Um, and I going to, did you go to any of their like really cool studios? Was there a studio that you really liked from f being featured on different albums?
Oh, man, well, I've been to Kelsey from the Free National Studio pretty recently.
Hmm.
His place is nice. I mean, it's like, but his place is very workmanlike. It's like it's where they work. It's not particularly fancy or anything. But I don't know what studios have been to that I really tons. Anderson Park Studio is cool.
Oh, sick.
He has this really cool place. I don't know if I'm yeah. It's like how much can I talk about without you know like betraying somebody's privacy? But he's got like this. He's got a studio and there's like a bed and all of his like awards and like Grammys and stuff, and it's
Hmm.
like got like yeah, it's got
Yeah.
I think pink lights. I remember. I don't know. It's like really it's really like what you would like hope he made. You know, I don't think that's his main studio even. I think it was just a
Hmm.
place that me and a bunch of friends hung out, and it's but that was cool. It's like I like seeing people's spaces because it really says a lot about them. I went to
Well, yeah.
do you know who Flume is?
No.
The electronic artist from Australia.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
I went to this. His studio was like completely space age. It was like a spaceship, like a proper
Nice
professional um, design studio with like acoustic walls and stuff, like acoustic. What do you call
material.
that? Man, I don't even know.
Panels.
It's not even. It's they're like fake walls. They're like a fabric um,
Foam.
walls. No, it's not like
Oh, it's not
foam.
foam. Oh, okay.
It's like there's a space between the wall and
Oh,
the wall that you see, so that the wall is kind of
gotcha.
false, so that you don't want to lean on the wall because you'll go through the
Right.
thing.
Okay.
So it's like for some kind of acoustic treatment, there's like a false wall or whatever. He had this studio that was like that. It was pretty amazing. I was like, this is like, you know, yeah, that's you have to get some guy in there and they
Wow.
design it in CAD and like it's really
Yeah.
fancy. But yeah, again, it had a big view and it was like really clean and fancy. And
Right.
it was like I couldn't come up with any ideas in that place because it was too nice. I just like I'm like kind of a DIY kind of I'm kind of like a grungy person. I just like I like I don't know. I like DIY kind of shit.
Right.
For me to make music, I mean, I can be impressed with all that stuff, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. But it doesn't bring music out of me, you know. But yeah.
Right. And on the cover of Multi Love, you have a a reel to reel or a tape recorder, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. I have a lot of tape recorders that I work with. Yeah.
Yeah, did that come out of, did you do that on purpose? Like, were you curious to see how to affect this sound, or was it more of a something that you had already and you just learned with that, you know?
Yeah. I suppose from the beginning I was experimenting with tape a lot. Because um I was like, yeah, I was influenced by a lot of old music, but also a lot of the music that was coming out at that time. Like I was a fan of like Ariel Pink and the chill wave people and all that stuff, and I think I was getting influenced by that. Like looking back on it, I was definitely kind of that stuff was affecting um how that sounded to me. And in my earlier bands, I'd always experimented with tape, but I never felt like I could fully take it um, as far as I wanted to in my old
Hmm.
band. And so once UMO started and I was able to do whatever I wanted to, and also they came up with a name for it. Like I like the way that those using that kind of equipment makes the music sound. Like I like the way it sounds, and I like the way cassette tapes sound
Yeah.
and reel to reel sounds, but it also kind of sounded bad, in a way.
Right.
Like it didn't sound like super hi-fi, so it was always hard to convince people that that was the way to go. But in UMI, I got to kind of like really explore that, and also there was a kind of like a trend at the time, like there was a audience for music, and they started calling it like lo-fi or whatever. And then once lo-fi was like okay, then I just felt like I could go crazy with it and just kind of, and I've been kind of there since. Like I, I just like I'm a product of the era that I came out of. Like I just still prefer to work with that equipment. Um, I don't like working in the box. Like I don't really enjoy recording everything into the laptop and just staying in the laptop. I
Wow.
do use Pro Tools, but I just get bored of just being on the screen. I just want to kind of reamp the stuff through analog equipment, pedals, or different circuits, and tape. Like I have I have more tape recorders than I can count now. Reel to reels and cassette recorders and things like that. I buy them all the time. Like I just got these. Like maybe it's a sickness, but I just this is this week. This week I got like this one,
Oh,
this
wow.
and,
That is
and
so
this
sick.
thing, this one,
Nice.
and then today this arrived. This one, this really beautiful one.
Whoa.
So I don't know. I've always been pretty into cassette. Like my early experiences with the music were like making joke bands with my friends, um, recording on cassette recorders and just like singing just bullshit, whatever,
Right.
just making up songs and stuff. So I think that nostalgia is like um, just something that is never gonna leave me. I don't like the idea of not
Right.
using tape. Tape sounds like a record to me. Yeah,
Right. And you can also manipulate the sound a lot more, I feel like with a you can like manually manipulate it and change the
yeah,
speeds and stuff. Um,
yeah.
which I think somehow can help a lot, you know, with the music, with the psychedelic music. I thought it was interesting that you said, I think on some interview, how you kind of listened to you took on the challenge to listen to like most psychedelic albums, if not all, kind of like study them in a sense,
Uh-huh.
and then come out with your own once you found that there was like nothing new or something like that.
Yeah, I guess it was just like it wasn't that I was like studying it at the time. It just felt like I was really interested in it. And so I was looking for music, new music all the time. And yeah, I just kind of yeah, just like you get to the point where you've run out of the records that you need to find, and I was still looking, kind of, you know, like I still had a desire to hear new records, um, and then I just found that it was like a little bit harder to find new things that were really gonna blow my mind that I hadn't heard before. So
Mm.
I did have pretty specific tastes at that point, so I just decided I'll just make it, like I'll just make the record that I want to hear, make the music that I'm looking for
Mm.
is really what happened. And so UMO has been kind of always been like that. Like I'm kind of like making the music so I can listen to it myself. Like I make the music that I wish somebody else was making at
Oh
that time.
wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting because I like to like sometimes like with my podcast, like I'm trying to relate to my podcast, but sometimes I'll never listen to my episodes, like on my when I'm
Yeah.
bored, like I'll probably listen to this one because this one's probably gonna be real sick, but but
I don't listen to my ones either. I try to sometimes, but
yeah.
my accent and my voice is just too weird. I can't, I don't
Yeah,
know.
right. But I agree with music, it is really sick because it's almost like taking you to like a place. You're almost like creating kind of like a environment,
Yeah.
manufacturing, which
Yeah, I hear a lot of artists that I like, they never listen to their own records. Like Bob Dylan never listened to his own
oh
records.
wow.
He claims he just doesn't, it sounds like it's like the sound of his own voice, so he doesn't care. And then but I actually make my records for me,
Hmm.
so I have, like when I'm mixing it, I obviously like listen to the songs over and over and over because I'm recording, mixing them and stuff. But then afterwards, it has to survive to the point where I'd want to hear it again. Um, but yeah, I'll like listen to my own music for because I kind of made it for myself, in a way. So
Hmm.
it's kind of I don't know what that says about me, but it's just like that's the way it is with UMO.
Right.
I just my way of thinking about it is like, well, if it's like if you cook a meal, it's like if you wouldn't eat it, then why do you expect anyone else to eat it? And it's
Hmm.
like that's the way I think about it. But yeah,
Right. Yeah, that's really interesting, man. Um, um, what I wanted to ask you, could that be a interesting recent? I know recently you started playing with your dad. He joined you on saxophone on stage. I saw your tiny desk, which was amazing. Um, but I think
thanks.
that's really cool, and also your brother on drums. But I wanted to ask you, you haven't had any features on your albums.
Yeah.
What? Why is that?
Um. Well, I guess a lot of the musicians that are from the, it's like Sly Stone doesn't have any features. Like Led Zeppelin doesn't have any features.
Mm.
Like I think it's just I grew up at a time when features weren't really a thing. So I kind of like had my ideas about music that formed a lot before the feature era. So when featuring became like this huge thing, I feel like it was the kind of like the end of the 90s, or when pop music just kind of had a lot of features or whatever. And so to me, I never think of it as a thing. Um, it's a part of my music. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of music that has features either. I just kind of prefer to just whatever that artist is, like they make their
Right.
art. And I don't know, there's a like features can be really interesting, but just for me, it's not the kind of thing it's not really my mindset so much. Like I think that's why I find it hard to not to do more features. That's why I don't do more features, is because it's like a little bit hard for me to get my head into that creative space. It's just like usually I like the idea of working on a project that's just for one thing, and then I think a lot of it has to do with like a lot of it feels sometimes like a record company idea, like somebody's trying to take this brand and this brand and put them together, and then we get both audiences and stuff like that. But it's like I don't think about the audience or like the marketing or anything while I'm making the music. So it's like I want to make the music and I just want to make the music pure and for itself, and then afterwards I think about like, oh, okay, so we got to sell this. So
Mm.
how do we do that or whatever? But so yeah, I don't know. It's like the feature like mindset is a little bit separate from my creative process, I guess. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with featuring. It's cool. I like the idea of collaborating. I'm just like not very good at it. Like I'm kind of flaky, and I'm not like a very good hustler, and I'm not kind of like out there kind of um yeah, I'm just like not out there hustling enough to get it really going properly. So it feels a little bit like separate because for me like, it's like I barely um can manage to like collaborate with my bandmates. You know what I mean? It's like I find it
Right.
hard to work with. Uh, like once I start making a song by myself, I just kind of end up just finishing it, and I
Yeah.
mix and records and all that. And so it's kind of like a lot. Some of my songs, it's just they were made from beginning to end without talking to another human being. So it's just yeah, so I just find it hard to collaborate. I think of it as like a weakness, really. It's like something that I could be better at, but I just never really became good at it. So yeah, I don't know. It's just this is just the way it is,
Right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's like a lot
Um,
of my favorite records, like Forever Changes, that record Love by Love.
right.
It's like it's not like it doesn't have like featuring Jimi Hendrix or like you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't have like the third song isn't like featuring anyone. It's just Love Forever Changes, and it's like Love's record, like this is it doesn't like kind of yeah, it doesn't kind of like branch out into all these different
Mm.
places. It just kind of stays in the keeps you in that one world, and like maybe that's like a mindset. Or maybe I'm just like old fashioned, which I think is just that I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I am. I don't know. It's just a thing. But I should do more. I should I should do more stuff. I can think of so many people that I'd want to like feature on my record, but I
Right.
just I usually am finished the record and I'm like, oh damn, I forgot to collaborate again. You know?
Right. Yeah. Who's someone who you would like, let's say you would want to collaborate before you die? You know what I'm saying? Like like one person
Oh,
that,
a lot of them are dying. I mean, it's like
right?
a but yeah, who would I want to collaborate with? Um, I don't know. I really like Pusha T. I wouldn't mind collaborating Pusha T. That'd be cool. I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
he has a crazy studio.
Yeah, maybe. Or he just goes around to all the best studios. I don't know. Or like I
True.
don't know. I can think of a lot of different people. Um, like John Williams would be cool. The composer, the film composer.
Whoa.
Like that'd be crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about how your show was with his grandson, Lionel Williams. Lionel
Oh,
Williams.
yeah. Oh, we've played a lot of shows with him.
Oh,
Like
nice.
Lionel's a really, really good friend of mine. Yeah, he's.
Oh, cool.
I just love his music. I've had this thing recently where I just like realized that I admire his music so much. It's like we've been friends for a long time. We always hang out under musical circumstances. I was just like, I just gotta go like get some tacos with him or something. We never do anything like normal. It's like we've been friends for so long and we never do anything like regular dude stuff that just like regular friend stuff. So um yeah, I mean I think that Lionel is like a whole creative force of his own. I think his talent is like kind of rivals his grandfather, honestly, even though that's a lot to say because like John Williams is a genius and everything and so important like in culture. But I just think yeah, I think Lionel is just like a almost like a completely separate conversation, but he definitely is
Right.
like a chip off the old block because he's got his um, grandfather's like melodic talent, you know. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
Lionel's somebody that I could feature on my record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever jammed together?
Um, you know, we've like performed on stage. We
Ooh,
played we played a David Bowie cover at New Year's together on stage. Uh,
nice.
and that was kind of a jam. But we've never like hung out and jammed. No, we haven't like hung out enough. That's one thing I realized this year is like I gotta spend more time like just hanging out. But if I start a studio with my friends down the road,
Yeah.
then I'll be doing a lot more collaborating. I think just have a
Yes.
space, have a space for people to be coming and going and experimenting stuff like that would be cool.
Right. And also jamming out with people because
Yeah.
you have a lot of jam albums, man. And I think that is so sick. Improvisation
Yeah.
more than like more structured. And like you just released two albums. I think it's worth noting. Well, not just, maybe like a couple of months ago.
Huh?
And they're very different, like and the um what was the one that wasn't Curse?
Oh yeah, IC2,
Yes.
IC2 Bogota. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
dude.
was the one that came out before that. Yeah, yeah, that
What?
was like the jam. Yeah, it's like a bunch of jams basically. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and Earth One, dude, those keys are unbelievable. They reminded me of like
yeah,
Chick Corea or something, some kind
hmm
of crazy
yeah,
jazz.
yeah. Well, that's Christian Lee,
Yes.
who's been playing keys with us recently, and yeah, he just that was kind of one of the first things that he did with us. It was sort of like Bogota was kind of like a way of getting to know him, really. We kind of just went to Colombia, invited him to come and play with us. And so that was sort of how we became friends and sort of, yeah, that's how before we'd played a show with him as UMO, we jammed with him and made that record. And that solo's insane. And yeah, it is like he is, I think he is on that level, like, with a play like somebody like Chick Corea or
Hmm.
somebody like that because yeah, creatively I have so much respect from him. I mean, apart from having like amazing technique, um, I think he's like a very creative musician, you know what I mean? Like he's not just a chops guy, like not he doesn't just
Right.
kind of shred. It's just like he can do that, but it's like um he's always trying to subvert that. Um and he has this slightly like one thing that I think is really original about him is he's this really angular kind of like approach. Like we play these kind of jagged. I don't know how to. It's hard to describe music like um. You know what I mean? But it's like he has this like jagged approach. You put notes together that just kind of they are very like dissonant, and
Yeah.
then and he is very comfortable in this kind of um
Mm.
experimental kind of place, and that makes him a little bit artier, like than a lot of jazz players. Like he's a little closer to like classical, like modern classical musician, which I think blends well with us. And I think he's also been really like forgiving because he's such a developed kind of what do you call it, like academically advanced musician, and and I'm not very academically advanced.
Mm.
I don't sight read. I don't really know how to read music very well.
Me neither.
Uh, and I don't think about music in technical terms. I play, self-taught and play by ear and all that stuff. So the fact that he can
Wow.
appreciate us and appreciate what we do and play with us seriously
Right.
without kind of like he never condescends to us or treats us like we're lesser musicians. So I appreciate that a lot too. And I think
Mm,
it's like um, I think the reason he's like that is not because he's just a kind dude, but I think he is actually advanced in the sense that he knows that good music can be made by people um, of
mm.
all, of all like educational levels. You know what I mean? So he
Right.
always does kind of bring that. He's very gracious in that way. Um, he always treats us like equals, which like really in strict terms musically we're not equals. He's a step above us, um but he also appreciates what we do. He also appreciates what we bring to
Mm,
the table, and it always seems like he's trying to learn new things. So it's like he can pick up all kinds of information about music, and then he applies it to the music he's making, which is it's cool. It's cool to be around musicians like that. Be privileged to play with people like that. Yeah, so that was Bogota was just it was like dad, my brother, Jake, and me and Christian, and we just like just hanging out in Colombia. And like we would go out at night. We went to a couple of clubs or whatever, and just like go record all day, and then go out and do stuff at night. It was good. It's fun. I want to do it again, like soon. Go somewhere random and just record all day.
right. And how do those jams like start? Who like chooses the key, you know? Like
There's no key.
there's
There's
no
never a
key.
key. Nobody yells a key or anything. Honestly, it's just we just kind of kind of leave it recording.
Mm,
Or if somebody starts playing and the others jump in, then somebody hits record, whatever, and then it's really free. Like it's almost like there's nothing to discuss because it really is just a bunch of musicians sitting around and trying to make something cool happen, and then there's like an editing process that goes in goes into it later. Like I sit down
hmm.
with hours of jamming and try to find parts that I'm like, oh yeah, this is my favorite part,
Wow.
and kind of block that out. And then it's amazing how the editing process of like just choosing a part, if the jam is like, say you jam for like 20 minutes, and the process of like choosing a beginning and end turns it into a song sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like because it's almost like there's a melody there that's waiting to get out, and
Hmm.
it takes like 5 minutes or something,
Hmm.
5 or 10 minutes. But then once you find it, you have the groove, and then you play until it's like maybe not the most exciting thing in the world. It's like you peak, and then it's like, and then you're just
Hmm.
playing, and then it's kind of like repeating yourself, or it's like starting to get a bit boring, and then you kind of
Right.
stop. But if you chop off the part where you get boring, then it's cool. I think
Right.
that's how Miles Davis made all those electric records, is just endless jamming, and then just editing, just like choosing the best parts, presenting the best parts that are worthy of of giving the public, and then just like presenting, going like that's a record. Um,
Wow.
I think there should be more of that. I wish there was more of that going on. I
Yeah.
think it was, I wish the record industry was more open to presenting that to people.
It reminds me of like Mac DeMarco's album that he released with like 200 songs or something, like the
Oh
Spotify
yeah,
limit.
yeah,
His
yeah.
full his whole USB.
Well, I think he was partly from because Jake knows Mac really well, and I think eventually everybody was just telling him, why don't you just put all this stuff out? Like, you know,
Hmm.
it's like why wouldn't you? Somebody's going to listen to it. Somebody finds like if you think it's good, then why not put it out? Sometimes you think like, this is something I made. It's cool, but it doesn't like fit with my brand or whatever. And it's like, who cares? Just like put it out. If it's cool, put it out. I don't know. Until that gets boring, you just yeah,
And you said, wait, can I ask you real quick before we move on? What does
yeah.
ICO2 Bogota mean? Is that
Oh well,
correct?
Bogota's the city,
Ah.
and that's where we went. And IC2 is the it stands for improvisation collaboration.
Ooh.
So it's just the idea is just that eventually I want to make a series. Well, there's two of them so far, and but eventually I want to keep doing these things where you go to a city and just
Mm.
record improvisation. So
That's
yeah,
so sick. It reminds me of this poster that I have here, the Garden of Earthly Delights, that is like supposed to be heaven, earth, and then the representation of hell. It's like the three
yeah,
three
yeah, man.
little
I love that painting.
depictions.
It's one of my favorite paintings. Have you seen it in? Have you seen it in the? It's at the Prado in Madrid. If you're ever
Mm.
in Madrid, go see it because it's like I never really like cared that much about that painting because I went to art school and like studied painting and
All
stuff, and I
right.
was I always thought it was like, oh yeah, it's cool, but seeing it in the flesh made me appreciate it a lot more. I think it's one of my favorite paintings now. But they also have a bunch of Goya paintings there. It's my favorite art museum. The Prado, yeah, it's cool, and they have two of his paintings there, so it's definitely worth seeing. And there's also a bunch of Goya paintings there. And when Goya was old, he lived in that house, and he was I think he went insane. He was just painting on his walls, and so they have those paintings, the
Oh
paintings that they found
wow.
on the walls of his house, and they separated the paint somehow from the wall, or like I don't know how they did it, but they somehow put them in frames and yeah, but he just
Wow.
painted them on the wall. It's just nuts. It's so cool to think
That's
of like this
fascinating.
aging master, like just going mad and like painting these masterpieces on his walls. It's fucking sick.
Wow. Yeah. I I want to say, man, your music videos are so trippy, man. They're so psychedelic. Like I know like you don't love to describe your music as psychedelic, but like your music videos, dude, like multi-love, like that ending is is so complex. And how do you how do you go through the process of making a trippy ass music video
Well,
like that?
you know Lionel Williams, um, who we were just talking about. He made that video. You know that, right?
No way.
Yeah, he made that video, the multi-love video. So it's
Dude.
hard for me to take any credit for that in any way, apart from just saying that you know being friends with him at the time and asking him to do it was a good idea. It's like yeah, I mean I think I'm pretty I'm a big fan of like visual um art, um filmmaking and cinematography, stuff like that. So I think I don't know, maybe I try to find like people that have done something that we haven't really done before, and try to do something new and also um, something that's interesting to me at the time too, not just something to sell um, the song or the record or whatever, but something that's like interesting to be a part of. So apart from that, I just think it's we've probably chosen like a group of people, like a list of people that I'm really proud to have worked with. Um, but I mean, I haven't really I haven't been responsible for that much of the visual stuff apart from the conversations that I've had with the creators of the videos and also like I think we are good about not interfering. Like once you've chosen the person, um, just let them go nuts. Like let them do what they really want to do
Hmm.
and don't. And I don't really like appear in my videos. Um, like I don't really want to be in the videos, but it's been so I've been out of the videos my whole career. It's almost like the one thing that I need to do that I haven't done is be in the video. So I don't know. It's a part of me thinks maybe I should be in a video just to change it up. But yeah, just like but just letting them choose creative people that you really respect, and then just like allow them to do the concept that they want to do,
Hmm.
and only give them as much feedback as helps them do their job. Don't like hold them back, don't like tell them that this or that's not working. Because if I mean you if it's not working, then you probably chose the wrong person, But
Mm.
that's about all I can say. I don't really I can't take any credit for the things that I didn't make, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that's that's great. That's interesting. I really love that, man. I think that's a great point because it's so like maybe if it was your own art, it would make more sense to criticize it and it's a little different, but someone else's, I could see why.
Yeah. I think I want to get more involved in the visual stuff just because I'm just curious about it and get more interested. Maybe in the future I'll make start directing more videos or something, but that's kind of like the collaborative part to me is to let the video director like represent it visually and not interfere too much, and maybe just give a few hints about what I was thinking, whatever. Sometimes the director wants you to give feedback, just to make it easier.
Hmm.
But if they don't and they really have an idea that they want to do, it's best to just like leave them alone to get it
Wow.
done. You know?
Right. It kind of reminds me of when people sync up Dark Side of the Moon to The Wizard of Oz, how two things that are so
Yeah,
separate like can work so well together.
yeah, yeah. That is a cool idea. I did do that when I was younger. I think the first time I took mushrooms, I did that.
And how was it?
It was cool. I mean, it does there are some kind of mind-blowing moments in that. They do kind of match up, but like these days I would think you could take any album and any movie and put them together, and lots of interesting things will happen because that's the way um uh, the visual and the way film and music,
Right.
or the way film and sound go together. It's like they collide in really interesting ways. You can they don't you can they can happen by accident really easily. Powerful things can happen by accident.
Right. Man, I really want to ask you, what do you think about AI in music production?
I think it's interesting. I mean, it's a hard thing to talk about because I did this thing with the video. I made an AI video, and I think it was like very misunderstood. But I don't really care because I was going through my own process with it. So it didn't really matter. I knew people were going to get mad, but people got actually a lot madder than I thought they were going to get. But
Stop
it's
it.
like, whatever. But it's I mean, it's weird because I think uh, I would like to have more conversations about this because I think there's there's uh there's two separate issues, I think, and one of them is like the technology itself, and then the other thing is what the technology, who's using the technology, or who controls the technology, or what it's being used for. The technology itself is quite amazing, you know, like the reason that it provokes so much fear is because it's actually quite shockingly like effective, you know,
Hmm.
like the idea of I just actually never considered that there might be an app on your phone that you could like put a photo of your grandmother from the 70s into, and it would make her like laugh and move. Just
Yeah.
like I just didn't really because I remember there's that thing in Harry Potter where they have the
Yeah.
photos and the photos like move, and like AI could just like do that now. So you could actually, and I think that's like shockingly like advanced in a way, like I think it makes people scared, you know. But if it was not run by tech overlords, and if it wasn't um, environmentally so damaging, and if it wasn't kind of the domain of like people that don't seem to care how much damage they do to the environment and to human society, I think the technology on its own is like a signal of how far we've come, like in the digital realm, you know.
Right.
So I don't want to like just. It's almost like it's not AI's fault that it's owned by. I think humans are still the problem rather than like this idea that like AI is the demon. I think the technology is kind of amazing, and if it was like green tech and it was used in a society that where it was used to benefit everyone, then it would be an amazing technology. You know, nobody would criticize it. But it is owned by basically what you just simplify as like an like by evil people. But it's like everything is owned by evil people. You know, like everything is that.
Yeah.
Every technology that you can name is
Right.
basically run by the same system, and AI is this kind of like a an accelerated leap in technology and also how much damage technology can do, you know. So yeah, so I guess it's like if you were talking about AI in music, it's like, well, if you were talking about a world where these small towns weren't being completely polluted and destroyed by the
Hmm.
data centers that run the AI, then it would be really interesting to build like um, samples, you know, that had been trained on, you know, like samples that nobody owns, samples that are, you know, you could build sample. You could use, you know, you can make a soul song from the '60s, and then that doesn't exist, and then you could sample that and make a rap song or something. It's kind of interesting in a lot of different ways. It could be interesting, it could be good, but like a lot of technology is
Hmm.
the same way where it's like
Right.
it's not interesting, it's not good. Like they what it's being built for right now is I think tech people basically are at war with creativity.
Yeah.
There it's a psychic war with people like me, uh, and they want to destroy um, our ability to have any power in society by
Mm.
creating a machine that they can get that everyone can get that they can own the output of all creativity. So they just sort of like, well, you don't need to go to this band. I have an app where you can make any song you want. You like, you know, make up whatever like artist you want,
Got
and
you.
and I can and then the tech, you know, overlord can like own all
Mm.
creativity and then charge the subscription fee to everybody. And then no, we won't need artists anymore. We won't need musicians or bands or anything like that. That's what they think they're doing. But I just think, and that's what people fear. But it's they're not going to get away with this. Like they're not going to. It's not going to happen that way. Even if it does, like do a lot
Hmm.
of damage. Like so far, like right now, AI cannot play a show. You know, like it can't. AI can't jam.
It's
You know,
YouTube.
or well, it's like you can't go to a concert.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like AI can't
Right.
like jam like be a bunch of musicians on stage jamming. It's like that it can't do that. So
Yeah.
it's like AI is like an omnipotent god as long as you're on your phone. You know what I mean? Well, I suppose the
Right.
next thing would be like well, AI also controls all the drones that like can like target or bomb certain places. AI would be the technology that would identify me if you know um, some if Palantir wanted to pinpoint where I was and drone strike me. Like in this room right now, you know, they'll know
Right.
exactly where I am, and
Right.
they'd be able to bomb this room. Um, so it's not all on the phone, but I think the thing that would help them to identify me or locate me would be my phone anyway. So it's just I don't know. I just think it's just like we need to sort of like take the power off the phone. It's like a process
Yeah,
we just have to come back to the real world where AI can't fool us. It's like everything on the phone,
right.
it controls the reality in your phone and in your computer. And that's still basically it.
Hmm.
We're not having to deal with it in the real um whatever you call it, meat space. Or whatever. We don't have to deal with it IRL at the moment. Like,
3D.
um, yeah, people can say like, "Oh, I don't know this AI image. I thought it was real," and it's just like, yeah, but if you're really there and you really saw it, AI still doesn't know how to make you see something that you didn't think was there. Does that make sense? So I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't fear it because I know that like a lot of technologies have come to destroy creativity, and none of them have ever done it because artists always end up getting on top of the technology somehow. Because the
Yeah.
technology can't outrun the human mind or the human spirit. It just hasn't been able to.
Right.
So I don't fear it that much. I just try to come up with a way of like how are we going to defeat this? How are we going to win this psychic war? And like I do kind of believe that that it's a war.
Right. Dude, there has to be a shut off button. That's the only way. You have to build it in.
Yeah. And I just like people are like, oh my God, we're fucked. Every time somebody shows like one of those robots like climbing a hill or something like that. But then you see this other thing that is like a robot is like trying to do this thing and it like runs out of batteries or it falls over a cliff or something. It's like these robots are not they're not that good, bro.
Yeah.
Like I just think if there was ever a point where it was robots versus if people were actually at war with AI and robots, I think we'd find out like really quickly that this shit's not that good.
Right.
It's good for some stuff, but it's more like the idea of the technology is scarier than the reality. Like, and I think it's true in AI. With AI, people cook
Right.
up and they like, oh my God, it's an evil god, and it's going to take everything away from us. And it's like, yeah, well, if you think that, then of course you're going to be scared of the thing. But
Yeah.
you got to learn what it really is so that you understand. You should know your enemy.
Right. And it's so weird because now I feel like on Spotify and so many streaming services, there's so many fake accounts of just AI profiles just putting out music under like fake names and it's just fake accounts.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like I saw something that it's like more than half of the activity online now is bots.
Bots,
So
yeah.
I think the thing is this that this whole interweb, this internet that is supposed to be like a meta reality that connects us all is being destroyed by the people that own it. I mean, all these bots are really just doing all they're doing is making me want to listen to cassette tapes more. Like all
Yeah,
Spotify is doing
100%.
by it's like we're going to flood it with AI and then we won't have to pay you anymore. It's like, oh, cool. Well, I just won't use it. It's like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
product becomes worthless, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to buy more vinyl. Then I'm going to go to more shows. I'm going to hang out with my friends and make even more music in real life because you're just all you're doing is accelerating the process of me realizing that the internet's just not that good. It's just trash. So if it is if that's what they're trying to do, they think like I just think that tech people they live inside the confines of a world that only exists in a phone, and they don't realize that a lot of us, I didn't have a phone until kind of like until the iPhone like 2 came out. I didn't even have a cell phone. When I was a kid, I didn't even have a flip phone or anything. I didn't see any point in having a phone, and I mean, I could go back to that. I could just throw my phone away and then all that happens is you and I would have to have this conversation on an old school telephone or in person. Um, we wouldn't we would lose like a little bit of convenience, but the world would just go back to the way it was before, and the world was probably better before all of this. It's like
Right.
this tech dystopia hasn't really fixed the world,
Right.
and what would we be fighting for? Twitter, email, like Facebook? Like this shit's not that good, you know? Um,
Exactly.
so yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, I'm looking at starting a studio with my friends because I don't want to run my career from my phone anymore, you know. I just want to kind of get to the point where I start phasing the internet out of my life more and more over time. And I think that's what everybody's going to do, you know. Spotify was like fine, it was novel, we had fun with it, but we can also this Spotify wasn't a thing, and then it was a thing, and then in my time in music, like since I started recording, putting out records, like the music industry's gone through a lot of different phases, and
hmm
it's just another phase. So I think these guys, like, they're really feeling themselves right now. So they think that they're taking over everything, but all people need to do is just turn their phone off, and you know they're just kind of they don't really have that much um, power over what we think or do anymore. That's my optimistic take on that anyway.
Right, because I mean, I love your story, how you uploaded your just a random song that you made by yourself anonymously to Bandcamp. Because
Yeah,
you didn't upload it like with the intention to like get as much success out of it that you did. Um, so I feel like there's that limit, those walls that you sometimes hit. Like if you wouldn't have made it from that, maybe you would have released another song and maybe that one would have made it. But it's like these limitations and like mistakes that are so unique to humans that it's like how we
yeah,
use them, what we do with them
yeah.
that
I
makes it
mean,
cool.
yeah. I mean, it's like the initial um, virality, and viral didn't really mean what it means now. It was a much smaller scale thing, but it was like the ability to start something from like Bandcamp or whatever from that time because of the blogs, music blogs, and all of that stuff, passing the songs around. Like that still had to be followed up by getting in a van and touring, endlessly. Before Multi Love came out, was the band had been touring for like 5 years,
Oh wow.
and so I think like when all's said and done, like that at that time, and like when the internet had this like ability to give people a way of launching their music to a wider audience, um, that was exciting, but that's gone now, and I can't, like, nothing that no advice that I give kids now about what I did back then is useful now because the internet's different now.
hmm
Like it doesn't work the way it did then. And I think the internet it wasn't always this bad. Like it was exciting at first because, and social media and everything was exciting at first because it had this linear thing where it was like you put out a video, lots of people just like it, they pass it around, and it just has this kind of bloom, it went viral. That doesn't happen anymore because it's like the gatekeeping that goes on in each window of the internet is really extreme. Like Elon Musk owns Twitter. There wasn't really like one guy controlling Twitter before, It was it didn't feel that way, at least. It felt more like if you said something funny enough, everybody would like it, and it would your your sentence would go around the world or whatever. And that's exciting. Like that's pretty exciting because if you're a funny guy and nobody knows who you are, and then all of a sudden you can be funny online and then get a job like writing it for a comedy thing or starting a podcast or whatever. That stuff's all exciting, and I think there's some of that opportunity still there. But the thing that is always hidden is like, okay, Amazon, right? You can like You can like buy almost anything you want on Amazon and it'll come to your house or whatever. But it's like the mailman still has to bring it to your house. If somebody has to still drive a truck, still has to get loaded onto a boat, you know what I mean, at the docks. Like people still, the analog world has always been there, like doing the heavy lifting behind this like system of that was like a facade in front of it that really was just communicating. And like, social media is like a way that people like communicate about like music or whatever, but I've still played like, thousands of shows. You know what I mean? And if the band is successful, I mean, part of it is about the fact that I've been in a van for thousands and thousands and thousands of hours traveling all over the world, like going from bar to bar, from theater to theater, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
hitting the actual road, like plugging in my amp and playing for people. And that's really what I think made the band successful more than anything that happened,
Oh.
on Instagram or you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
just my angle on it now is just kind of like the whole time that this tech thing has been exploding, it's been riding on the backs of like structures that were already there before, record labels or studios, like touring, booking agencies, promoters, like all those things are what
Mhm.
make people popular. And the stuff that happens online is kind of an illusion, And now it's like
100%.
just more exaggerated than ever because AI
Right.
could just be like, oh, hey, this is the new pop star, whatever, like Timberland's like fake human pop star is. It's just like kind of like, well, if you guys want to look at baddies on like TikTok, well, then I can just like cook one up in AI, and you know what I mean? It's like that just exaggerates the fact that we've been on like some fuckery this for a while. Like we shouldn't be like on our phones as much.
Yeah.
We need to like just fucking wake up. It's like it's if the internet's over, then let's like wrap it up. Fuck the
Right.
internet.
Right.
Anyway.
No, I agree. It's a great point because I love a quote that you said that was one of the things that you liked about music was like more than art was that in art you have like in order to really go see a piece, you had to like go in person and like know about art and all of that. And like music, you could really just kind of like hear it and listen to it, especially if it's like at a concert or something, you can really enjoy it. But now it seems like with music now being the main form of consumption through, like car speakers and stuff, it seems like that it almost has become just as strict as art. Like the algorithm will only feed you the same type of music and
Yeah, yeah. It's just controlled, Like
yeah.
it's like TV was like before the internet. The TV was like owned by corporations and the channel was like controlled by very rich guys who like decided what was going to be on there. And the internet's just become that, but even worse. It's like everything's like too controlled. Like people don't want everything, people want things to be more democratic so that they can feel that it's more real. Because like some out of touch like billionaires in control of the social media platform you're on, that person's controlling like what the world looks like through that lens. It's like, and that's just sucks. I don't know, just like, why would I want my world created by Elon Musk? Why would I want my world? I'm not interested in what he's thinking. Like if David Lynch owned Twitter, see, that would be interesting. If he was the dictator behind Twitter, then that would be interesting because he's an interesting guy.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm interested in what he like the way that he sees the world. But Elon Musk is just some nerd. It's just, sorry, I'm just plugging my phone in because it's running out.
No,
Um,
you're
how much time are we? How much time have we got? Are we out of
we
time?
we did hit the hour limit. But do you have a little bit more time to ask you like a couple more
Sure,
questions? Okay, thank
sure.
you so much, man. Um,
I'm gonna be
dude, one question I wanted to
sitting
ask
the phone
you.
in a weird way.
Oh yeah. Nice plants, by the way, man. You're a big plants guy.
This is my wife. She has a green thumb. I don't know. I've killed a lot of plants trying to do that. I can't really do it, but
And
she's good at it.
I, I that thing on top of your chimney, is that a statue of Ganesh or what is that?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
A fan gave it
sick.
to me.
A
A
fan gave
fan,
that to
that's got
you?
a bunch of yeah, and a bunch of it's got a bunch of lays, like Hawaiian lays.
Right.
My mom's
Yeah.
Hawaiian, so but yeah, I'm not Hindu, but it's second. Yeah, my wife put it there, so it's there. It stayed.
Yeah,
Sorry for the
no.
weird angle. I'm not trying to be artsy. It's just that's the way the charger is like pulling my phone.
No, all good, man. Dude, one question I wanted to ask you, I guess is you picked up your guitar when you were like 19, am I wrong?
Yeah, yeah. That was when I got my first guitar.
Your
Yeah,
first guitar? And
my
and
dad bought it for me.
and I was just kind of surprised that you said that you aren't a music theory genius. So how did do you have any advice for any other people who kind of like just got a guitar and have been practicing for years? By people, I mean me, who, do you have any advice for new beginning musicians?
Um, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's just like I just think it's important to not worry about like what happens with your music.
Hmm.
Like that's my point of view. I mean, I might be wrong and completely out of touch with everything, but when people ask me like how to make it in the music industry or whatever, I just don't have anything to say about it because I think um, the thing that I mean, maybe I've said this before, and I'm just a broken record and I'm out of touch and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I just kind of think you should like that the music industry respects a musician that has a point of view that doesn't include like all of that. Like that doesn't, it's not trying to make it, but it's just trying to make amazing music or just trying to make music that's cool, you know? It's and like I think ambitions beyond that are something I find alien. I'm sure like it's a good idea to be ambitious maybe, but for me, if you like look up to me in any way, then you have to know that like that stuff has always been secondary like thought to me. I'm just trying to make something that I think is cool. And
Right.
the thing that makes it good advice, because I suppose it could be bad advice to just be like, oh, I don't care about how much money you make or whatever. But I think the reason it's good advice and the reason you should listen to me is because no matter how much money you have, you're still going to have to spend every day, like spend your time doing something that's bearable. And actually getting rich or even famous or successful doesn't really fix that problem. Like it doesn't fix the problem of like life day to day, you know? So if you if you put success before your taste or before music, then and then you make some piece of music that you think is going to be successful, and then God forbid it does get successful, then that's you. That's the kind of music you're going to make, you know, from now on, or like do you know what I mean? Like it's like if you make bad music that you
Yes.
don't really enjoy making and you get successful, that's actually the worst thing that can happen because then you're like trapped. Um, but if you don't get successful and you make music and it's cool, then that's and you feel good about it, like you really it's really amazing. That can like charge you up in ways that no amount of money or fame can replace, you know? So ideally, I suppose my favorite thing, my favorite scenario, and the thing that I'm lucky to have achieved is that like I like my music. You know, I like making it. I enjoy like it's my favorite kind of thing. It's my the music that people hear. Like that's the shit. That's the shit. That's my shit. Like that's actually what I like to make, and that's what I like to hear. And and then so regardless of how successful it is, it doesn't really matter because I'm enjoying every day. You know, so that's why I think it's good advice because I think you could get successful. You could do it part time. Like you could be a builder, you could be a contractor, or you could be a like a carpenter, and you could make music spare time. If the music that you make in your spare time is like the best thing you can possibly think of, then I think that's better than like compromising and then making your living making music. You know what I mean? And then
Have
if you get success making this music that's weird that you think is the best thing and you thought, oh, I never thought anyone would like it, and then you get successful, well, then you're winning both ways. You know what I mean? It's like then it's everything's perfect. In fact, it's sometimes
exactly.
more dangerous to get success, because then you might forget like what you really want to make, because you get the pressures of like the music industry, you know?
Yes, and that gets translated as well, I think, into the people who are absorbing the art, whether it's music or actual art or food. Like I think people will not just necessarily enjoy it. They'll be like, "Man, that guy is not having fun on stage." They'll be able to
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah, you're not really contributing a spiritual thing to society, you know? You're just kind of
Mm.
contributing to the problem of like, yeah, just the people. I think people go to concerts to experience something pure in their lives. They want to go see um, people living the dream or
Hmm.
living their truth or whatever. And like,
Yeah.
if you're not doing that, then you're not really doing your job. So, um, and nobody wants to be like, if you're in a band, say you're in a band and it's like nobody's listening to your band. It's not your band's not big, but you and your friends like really love your band. You guys think you're the best band in the world. If you go to a show of a band that you think is good and they're successful or whatever, and they seem to be less connected to their music than you are to yours, it's like what's that worth? You know what I mean? What is that spreading? That's spreading a bad thing. I think the only bands that people really need to see are bands that make you kind of go, wow, I should be doing exactly what I want to do. Um, I should be a free human being. You know what I mean? Because I mean, otherwise, it's like, just get a regular job. I mean, it's like, why would you? Um,
Mm.
like if music is a dream job, so you gotta treat it like a dream job. I think,
Right. And then
Again, I don't know if I'm full of shit. So
right,
just
because there's the possibility that the the band does make it great. You're part of that band, but you don't like the music and but then you're still in it, but you still like the dream, but it's not really the same anymore. It's like that part of letting go of whatever the band is. Like that's a crucial step to transition into creating art that you do like,
yeah.
and have you ever dealt with that, having to step away? I guess you did that with art, right?
Yeah, and I had another band with my brother in New Zealand, but I mean, I think of that band as like very experimental, the first band. So I was never in that band thinking, oh, this isn't the music that I want to make. I mean, whenever I was making the music, whatever I was doing in the band at the time was exactly what I needed to work on. So I kind of think of it as like school, you know? My first band, I think, was a lot like I was learning, like trying to figure out new things
Yeah.
and learn how to tour, learn how to be in a band with other human beings, learning about songwriting, experimenting, and then when I went and UMO was just me, just making what I want to make, like just me, just not with a bunch of other dudes negotiating and arguing about what we wanted to do. It was more just like me doing. the sound that I really want to make, you know. So the luck that was lucky for me to do that because I was because I kind of because the start of the band was a little bit accidental. I'd accidentally done the music that I made thinking nobody cared. Um, so I had nothing to lose, so I just made what I thought was cool,
Mm,
and and then I got and now that's what I'm trapped in. I'm trapped in a band that is making a sound that I really was serious about. So it's an okay
right,
thing to be trapped in. Do you know what I mean? Like I have an endless
right,
supply of that music because I was being really honest when I first started making music. So all I have to do is just like concentrate on how to stay pure,
right.
and then I'll always be happy. So it's
Mm.
been good like that.
Right. Like the ultimate goal should be to do something that you truly enjoy doing. Right. And then
Absolutely. I mean, if you truly enjoy yourself, who cares how much money or like who cares about anything else? Like if you are actually satisfied with what you're doing,
Mhm.
that is all that life is. Like, trust me. You know what I mean? Like you could be a billionaire and not have that. Like chasing some abstract thing is not going to make you, it's not going to be a fulfilling life. Like you, if you know, like I feel proud of like what I've done. I feel proud of you, Mo. Like I like looking at my records because I'm just like, yeah, this is what I think is cool. If people hate this or think it's lame, well, there's nothing I can do about it, you know? But I
Mhm.
mean, the worst thing, you know, like this is the best music that I could possibly imagine making. You know what I mean? So if you
Yeah.
don't like this music, it's because that's just because I've failed. Like like there's something in my
Right.
you know what I mean? Like I
Right.
did my best.
It's
But
not, yeah. It's not something
like
that's
this
wrong
is
with
the
the equipment or the whatever.
yeah,
The
but
song.
it's like if but I would hate to be in a band that had got success and then I didn't like the music. Because then every time you get a bad review, you're going to be like, yeah, this kind of sucks. You know what I mean? But when I get a
Right.
bad review now, I'm just kind of like, yeah, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? It gives me confidence and like, it gives me confidence because I'm just kind of like, no, this is it.
Right.
If somebody doesn't like my music, it's just like, I just think you're wrong. You're just wrong. You don't get it. You know, it's your problem. Um, But I do know that there are musicians out there, you know, they're really successful, but they don't even like their own music. And it's like you don't want to be in that position. So I think the way you get in that position is by caring about what other people think too much, you know.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And if you are in that position, just get out, I guess.
Well, it's just like you got, you know, you it's like life is like that. You got to keep reassessing like,
Yeah,
is this what I want? Is this who I want to be? You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I think sometimes it is also important to change as well your perspective a little bit to be like, oh, wait, maybe this isn't that bad. Maybe this, is like maybe I should just instead of trying to change 100% what I'm doing right now because I'm not 100% happy, maybe I could just try to in a way learn to enjoy what I already have.
Well, I think if you're learning and there's some aspect that you're working on that you're satisfied with, that's fine. I mean, everything doesn't have to be perfect, but I just think ideally, creatively, it's hard to stay on course if you don't have some kind of integrity, because then if you run into hardships like arguments with your bandmates or less record sales or your shows don't sell as well. If something starts to, if you run into a hiccup and you don't believe in your music, it's just that much harder to like keep going. And a part of success at anything is like persistence, right? You got to kind of stay in the game. And if you enjoy it, then you're just making it because you enjoy it. You don't have to worry about the ups and downs of the industry, which I don't worry about that too much. You know, it's like I've been putting out records since I was a kid and and I don't know like when I've been popping, when I haven't. I don't know. I don't know if I've like become relevant. Like I don't know if I'm relevant or irrelevant. It goes like you come in and out of fashion. It's just doesn't matter. You could because you still got to like write a song, record it, go on tour. Like you just the reality of your life is going to be working. You know, working on your stuff and trying to hang out with people that you find inspiring um, and you have to enjoy the work. And to enjoy the work, you have to like the music. You know, you have to really love the music, and that keeps you going. And everything else is going to fuck with you. You know, you might have parents that hassle you that you're not making enough money, or you might have a girlfriend that like needs you to be like somebody else. You might have, all this shit is going to fuck with you the whole time. But if you believe in your music, at least you know that you have that, you know.
Right.
If you believe in the art that you're making, it makes it a lot easier to like hang in there because it's getting harder, like the society's getting harder to be an artist in. And like I said, it is kind of a psychic war. It's not on accident. It's not by accident that that's happening. It's like people are waging a war against creativity. So if you want to be creative, um, yeah, make the best thing you can think of, and then
Hmm.
hit us all with the like heavy stuff, with the good stuff.
Right. Yeah, well, man, I think that's a perfect ending point right there, man.
Cool. Well, thanks for the interview.
Yeah, Ruben, thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate you and your time and your wise words. It was a blast talking with
Yeah, I
you,
hope it
man.
wasn't too much. I hope it wasn't too much of that the wise words kind of shit. So I don't know. I don't know why I went on that trip, but yeah, cool,
Yeah,
man. All right, well,
yeah.
take it easy. Um, so where are you?
I'm in Austin,
Where,
man.
okay. Well, are you? Well, I'll see you at Levitation then, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yes, you will.
Sweet. Yeah, man. Well, yeah. Until next time.
Until then, everybody go listen
Yeah.
to his albums, Unknown Mortal Orchestra. Go to Levitation. Uh, hey, you reminded me. What does the lyric "Bury me in Austin under Uchiko" mean?
Oh, well, I have a friend from Texas, and she actually used to work at Uchi,
Ooh.
and every time I'd be in Austin, actually, it's still actually every time we go to Texas, we still end up like it's like a tradition. We go to Uchi, have dinner, and she doesn't work there anymore, but it's just something I do, and I just feel like a lot of like episodes in my life of like because when I first started going to Uchi, I couldn't. It was like I was like a broke musician, I did like it was like a really fancy restaurant, so it was a big deal for me back then. But um, you know, so it's kind of like one of the fanciest restaurants I'd ever been to, and now it just seems like um just like a place that I go that I like to go in Texas because there's a few of them. I think there's one in Denver now and all this kind of stuff. But it's just like a nice place to go have dinner because of history. But I think it's just like certain episodes of my life have occurred in those restaurants. There's just like a lot of memories, and periods of my life where um, each time I go back into one of those restaurants, it's like I'm a different person. So at that time, um, it was about, um, yeah, I guess it was about uh, women who are mad at me. Um, yeah, and who I'd had dinner with in Uchi, but Uchiko is their other restaurant. But when I wrote that lyric, I hadn't actually been to Uchiko, but I have been there. since then. I've been
Oh,
there once, or maybe twice. No, I've been there once. So at the time when I wrote that, I'd been to Uchi, but I'd never actually been to Uchiko. So
oh,
Uchiko just like flowed better as a lyric, you know what I mean? Like I usually will write whatever fits like
oh.
the syllables. So I don't know. It's like without really being able to say exactly what I'm referring to there. That's basically what it's about. It's like it's because of throughout my life at that time, it seemed like I was kind of like always back in that restaurant for some reason, and yeah, I kind of associate it with like yeah, like women getting angry at me for some reason, and that's why she wants to bury me um,
Gotcha.
under the restaurant.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah,
So you spent a lot
so
of
yeah.
time over here in Austin when you were starting out?
Yeah, we did kind of like I guess we were just touring a lot in the first, especially in the first 3 or 4 years. We were going to South by Southwest like every
Right.
year, and then we would go through Austin a bunch because our label for the first album was is based in Mississippi, so we were getting booked in the South um, quite a lot more, and we kind of just end up there more. And so when we're since we're in the South, we kind of go through Texas, quite a lot. So we did play like we were playing for a while. We were playing Austin probably like 4 or 5 times a year. Um,
Nice.
and then South by Southwest, where we'd stay there for like a week and play show after show, stuff like that back then. So yeah, Austin was a pretty big deal, and we had a lot of friends that were living in Austin at that time.
Yeah, that's sick. I just moved out here in January from kind of like Houston, Dallas,
Okay.
and I'm a musician. I play my main instrument is piano, dude. I love piano. That's why I was so obsessed
Yeah.
with Earth One. And I've been
Yeah.
kind of like going to concerts, talking to musicians, and just being like, hey, if you ever need a pianist, let me
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I do want to get a better keyboard, maybe the Nord Electro 2, or
Yeah.
they're kind of super expensive, so I don't know, something more portable.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's like have you ever seen the Korg? What is that thing called? The Korg version of that, the Nord. I think it's SV1, Korg SV1.
I think.
Korg SV1 is like a little bit. I think it's a little smaller. It's not as thin. I think it's a little higher. But
Mm,
um, we were using the Korg for a while. We've kind of gone completely analog now, but it's hard to do. It's hard to do when you're starting out. Um, but I still think analog is pretty good. I mean, it's the Christian found this thing called a Valente. It's like a Rhodes. I think they made it in Argentina or like Brazil or something, and it's like a it's like the size of a Nord, but it's an actual like Wurlitzer like Rhodes electric
mm,
piano. They're a little bit finicky. Like we're in the process of we have to like work on it at the moment because the notes, a couple of notes broken and stuff, but it sounds good and it's not crazy heavy or big. But the Korg SV1 I thought I preferred to the Nord, like for its sounds,
mm.
especially it's like its piano sound I think was better than the Nord. But it's all taste. But um yeah, I don't know. Like what's your favorite sound for like is it like are you more organ guy or are you a synth guy or a piano
Ooh,
guy?
great question. Or clavie guy, clavies are
Oh,
classic.
clavy, true, yeah.
Dude,
Well, the thing
honestly,
about a Nord is you get everything, right? You get the options.
hmm Dude, I love me a good Rhodes, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit makes me
Yeah,
dream.
yeah.
Float.
Rhodes is good. You can't really beat a Rhodes, but they're just
Facts.
like, finicky and they are heavy. and big.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for gigging, it's like hard to whip around town, with the roads. But that's the thing. It's like the Volante. I don't know if how rare they are or what, but like it's incredibly like uh portable for a real like analog piano. So,
Nice.
and I don't even know. I think it probably is not. It's not like you know that much more expensive than a like no. What's an Auto Electro now? Like 2 grand.
Brand new, yeah, probably.
Yeah. So and these things are all
Or
expensive.
whatever. Or new. Yeah, facts, man. It would definitely be an investment, but I feel like it would be such a good investment. It would really
I
put
think the thing
me.
about an Auto Electro is it's like a you can cover all the bases, which just makes it really good.
Hmm,
Yeah. But yeah, don't sleep on the Korg SV1 because it's pretty good too. I think you can change the sounds. Like you can put like an SD card in and change the
right.
sounds. So I don't know. It's kind of it's like Korg's version of the Nord. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right, Ruben.
All right. Cool, man. Well,
Thank
I'll
you,
see
man.
you around there. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'll see you on a gig sometime if you're
Yeah,
are you
hey.
playing Levitation or anything, or are you just gonna um are you coming to watch?
Yeah, I'll definitely be front row watching.
Okay. Well, I'll see you there then. Just uh you're in touch with me on Instagram, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll see you on Instagram.
All right, sweet. Hey,
Cool, man.
anybody feel free to DM you if that's all right, to
Yeah, yeah,
Unknown Mortal
yeah.
Orchestra.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Thank you, Ruben.
Hopefully more than half of you aren't bots. So
Sorry, but yeah, half of you being like the five people
yeah, yeah.
watch
Cool, man.
this.
Well, yeah, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. I'll
Thank
talk to
you
you. Talk to you soon. See you
for
on.
sure.
See you on the internet.
Yeah. Good luck, man. Hare
Okay.
Krishna.
See you, man.